Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I am coming back at you with another unboxing. I know there's been a lot of unboxings on the channel lately. I am interested in doing other things, but I had this giant backlog of stuff that I bought, and I've been waiting to unbox on the channel, so I got to unbox it on the channel. And this time we're taking a look at Vagrantsong, which is a game that I actually already filmed an unboxing for, and it did not go well, and so now I am reshooting it. So Vagrantsong from Weird Games is a bone-chillingly spooky adventure, and this game went direct to retail in a very limited print run from what I understand, and I was very lucky to get a copy of it from one of my local stores, and I was desperately searching for it because I think it looks amazing, and I've also played it on Tabletop Simulator, so I knew that it played amazing. And so I'm really happy I was able to finally grab it. So basically, this is a boss battler that takes place on a spectral ghost train in kind of Depression-era America. So a lot of the themes and characters and artwork and such is kind of cut from that cloth. You know, for example, one of the items that is included in the box is a Bindle Bag, which is the little check marked kind of hobo bag that they used to carry. So it leans heavily into that theme. And basically you're playing as a group of travelers who are trying to kind of save the souls of these ghosts by restoring their humanity to them. Haven't had a night's rest since you don't know when. There's a whistling from a train coming around the bend. Out from the darkness, its faint blue light descends. Step on board as it passes by. It'll be your bitter end. So you train hop aboard the silver ferryman, chasing a dream or running from the past. What you find is a welcome in hand, a scary white glove with stretched skin. Makes you never want to leave. Vagrantsong is a cooperative and story-driven ghost battler where you take on the role of a vagrant trapped on a supernatural ghost train. You know, it's too bad that they don't have Sabin from Final Fantasy VI, because if they did, he would have just suplexed the shit out of this train, and there'd be no game. It would just be Sabin just kind of grabs the train, just done deal. Because that's the thing that happens in that game. If you didn't know that, you need to go play Final Fantasy VI, because it's like one of the greatest video games ever made. The dude literally suplexes a train. Like a fucking train. A ghost train, no less. If that doesn't get you all hot and bothered, I don't know what does. So anyways, back to Vagrantsong. This game is gorgeous, and I'm so happy that I got my hands on it. I have already unboxed it, like I said, but I'm going to basically go back through it because I haven't looked at it in a month, and I want to do it on the channel. So, you know, like right off the bat, you've got some kind of premium touches. The box is incredibly thick and quality feeling. It's all kind of got that gloss to it, and you can see even the inside of the box is stylized, which is also rare. You know, you know how you have those board game boxes where as soon as you open them, as soon as you take the shrink off, you know that this thing is not going to last the long haul. Shadows of Brimstone is a classic example. Paper thin cardboard that has the glue marks on it, and you could see exactly where it's going to come apart on you. This thing is sturdy as hell, and I appreciate it. It's also just like a beautiful piece of art. You know, like look at the art in this game is just unreal. It's got that Cuphead kind of look to it. These are the various travelers that you can play as. So moving along, we've got the rule book. Again, extremely high quality, very heavy, thick, glossy paper. And from what I remember of actually playing the game, it serves very well in terms of teaching you the mechanics. This isn't an overly complicated boss battler, which is one of the reasons I was interested in it. I've always been interested in boss battlers, and I've never actually owned or even played one. Just because, I don't know, I don't have Kingdom Death Monster, and for a long time that was kind of the premier boss battler out there. And all the other ones that I technically own haven't been delivered yet, because I backed a bunch of them on Kickstarter and GameFound. So I'm really excited that I was able to get this. So you can see the rulebook is, again, just like gorgeous, filled with the most incredible art you've ever seen. It's got kind of a progress tracker on the back because this is a campaign game, so it leads you through, you know, a series of encounters. Here's a bunch of tokens I punched already. Nothing really special about those. They're fine. So here we get a little note from the creators. Vagrantsong, what's all this stuff? In the box, there are some extra humanity, hearts, and bases, just in case you lose some during the chaos of the game. The acrylic standees and bases also have a protective film on each side to remove them to make the character art pop. So this is one of the only things, I thought that this was a beautiful touch for them to add this to the box. And again, even this, it's not like just a piece of paper. It's like a heavy piece of cardstock. But it lies to you in an annoying way. Right here, it says, the acrylic standees also have a protective film on each side. Maybe it doesn't, actually. Yeah, standees and bases. So, long story short, when I first got this game, I opened it up and I was trying to get the protective film off, and I damaged one of the bases because it doesn't have protective film on both sides. The enemy bases they only have the film on the one side. So I was super annoyed by that, but they do give you extras, they say, so obviously not a deal breaker. But I just thought it was funny that they included that letter, and I was so pumped about it, and then it kind of isn't true 100%. So here's the board. You can see it is replicating boxcars on a train, basically, and they're lettered. They each are like different zones of the train, basically, and it's got your tracker for humanity. It's got your cycle track, which comes into play quite often, round trackers, and brakes, which are like kind of like what's the word that I'm looking for? Like in a WoW raid, like you know, sections of the fight, basically. I'll think of the word in like 30 seconds and be really pissed that I couldn't remember it. So here is our Vagrantsong scenario book. Again, wire bound, heavy as hell. This thing feels like it weighs like 3 pounds. And just this art, like what the F is going on here? Look at this art. Stunning. I would put this on my walls if my wife would let me do that, which she definitely will not. And it's just a ton of content too. And then we get into kind of the core of the box. So we've got some dice here. Pretty unremarkable, you know, kind of standard dice, nothing wrong with that. We've got our character cards. They are each double-sided, so the characters have a kind of normal side, and then they have an enraged side or kind of a damaged side. I can't recall exactly. But you've got here, so each character has their own character card, double-sided character card, and then they have their own set of ability cards that are related to their class, essentially. So here you've got the Songsmith, You've got the Wayfarer, who's got a bird pet with him, basically. And you can see the statistics are different for each one. The Curse Bearer has 9 hit points. The Wayfarer only has 8. You've got the Curse Bearer, the Empress of America, as the book refers to her. The Revivalist, and the Runaway, who has a dog pet. She's got 10 health. So you've got various statistics related to the characters. This is like their move. This is, I think, the amount of stuff they can carry, etc. and so forth. I'll have to go back through the rule book. But again, really nice quality. This wants for nothing in terms of production value as far as I'm concerned, which is rare, especially for a $75. This game was $75. You know, if this had gone to Kickstarter, I feel like they could have easily charged $125, because what they would have done is they would have taken all this premium stuff, the card quality, the component quality and everything, and they would have just made it stretch goals and charged $125 for it and made it seem like you got a bunch of awesome shit, which you did, but you know. So here you've got kind of a player guide. One weird thing, I think there's only one of these in the box. That seems weird, but whatever. And then these are like hidden cards, I believe, related to the quests, the scenarios. Here we've got a bunch of ability cards, I believe. Yeah, so just taking a quick look at a few of them. Right here, we've got 3-part harmony. Target gains humanity equal to the number of vagrants within range 2 of you, including yourself. So this basically rewards you for bunching up. It makes your healing spell more powerful, and it's got various statistics here, which again, I'm not going to get into right now. Let's look at another character. So that's for the Songsmith. This would be for the Wayfarer. Moral of the story: if target has unbroken junk, they gain humanity. Then for each success, target gains 1 humanity. So you get an automatic success, and then you have the potential to get additional successes on your roll. The Sweetest Curse. If you were haunted this round, target gains 1 humanity. Then for each success, target gains humanity. Interesting. So like kind of another. And again, I got these out of order, so I might not even be looking at the right cards. Westbound, it says. Let's get into these. These are the traditional ability cards. Yeah, this looks much better. Okay, there we go. 3-part harmony. Target gains humanity equal to the number of vagrants within range 2, including yourself, and it's telling you, like, you know, how many dice you roll and what you need to hit with it. Funky Partissimo. Gain special target priority until the start of your next turn, or until you lose humanity, whichever comes first. So I believe that this is like a taunt. I might be wrong about that. Don't chop my balls off if I am. Here we go. Who's a good boy? So this is going to be for the Runaway. Move the pup up to 8 spaces towards you. For each success, any haints or vagrants move through gain 1 humanity. Wow, so this is an attack and a heal that can hit multiple targets. That's actually really cool. Gumption. Your pup can perform this skill. For each success, target gains 1 humanity for each vagrant or pup adjacent to it. And humanity is like your kind of resource, your health resource, but it's also the damage you do to the enemies. Because you're not beating them up, you're restoring their humanity, essentially. So a lot of these abilities are multifunctional. So lots of cool cards. I'm not going to bust them all open because I don't even know what half of these are. And I don't know if they're supposed to be in a certain order or what, but they're very nice quality. Again, they're not traditional cardstock. They're glossy and kind of not quite like something like Too Many Bones, where the cards aren't even cardstock. They're like plastic, but approaching that level of kind of quality. Bunch of random tokens in here that I punched out. Obviously, I haven't even tried to organize this game yet. Here's your Bindle Bag, like I was saying. So, you know, your typical hobo would throw this over their shoulder and carry their goods and bits in it. In this game, I believe it is meant to hold tokens, which is actually a good idea. I'm just gonna put all this crap in here. And then we get to kind of one of the coolest parts of the whole set, really, and that is our standees. Acrylic standees. Acrylic colored standees. So this is interesting because, you know, I'm one of those guys that backs all these miniatures-based games, and I love them, but if you've been watching the channel at all, you've been seeing that I'm also looking for ways to not have to paint any more miniatures. That's the whole drive behind the WizKid stuff that I've been collecting. Warlock tiles and their kind of premium figures. And this game approaches it from a different angle, basically, which is just to say, hey, who even needs miniatures? Let's just give them high quality standees. High quality is the key. You know, the standees from Gloomhaven are shit and would leave a bad taste in basically anybody's mouth because they're just, you know, cardboard crap. These are acrylic, so they are hard plastic, and they are, as you can see, fully colored. So this is a whole different deal as far as I'm concerned. So you've got various bad guys here. I'll try to zoom in on some of these. These are some of the haints that you'll have to face. You've got somewhere in here, we've got some heroes and such. Yeah, so here's your hero standee for the, I don't remember what his class is called. Whatever. Here's another set of bad guys. And so these are, you know, really nice acrylic standees. And I think that this is a really cool middle ground between spending huge amounts of money either on miniatures that no human being who is an adult will ever have the time to paint, with just the sheer number of games that we're all backing. I assume everybody else is as crazy as I am. I don't know, maybe not. I'm backing, and I've got like 1,000 miniatures to my name coming, and that has nothing to do with the 10,000 miniatures I probably already have in this basement. You know, Zombicide alone, I must have 500 or more miniatures. And they're cool, but these are cool too. And these, you can see, that's why they're able to ship this in a box like this, because instead of making those big chunky plastic miniatures that are made in China and make everything more expensive, more heavy, take longer to produce and harder to store, they just put their money into these acrylic standees, which are, to my mind, just as cool as miniatures would have been anyways. Again, though, you have to do it right. If they were just cardboard standees, then I would prefer miniatures. And you see that in a game like Adventure Tactics, which I also backed. I don't have it yet. I have played it on Tabletop Simulator, and I quite enjoyed it. It's kind of like a Final Fantasy tactics board game, basically. Tactical, you know, strategy board game with classes and cross-class development, and very similar to Tactics or Final Fantasy V. And that game has standees, and they're very much the kind of basic crappy cardboard. But it also has a miniatures pack, which I went like all in on, because I think I'm gonna like the game enough that I want minis for my bad guys. But if they had offered standees, acrylic standees, I would have taken them up on that offer, because these are just as cool as far as I'm concerned. So I'm gonna lay a bunch of these out in no particular order, with no understanding of who they are, or really even if they're kind of right side up. Let y'all zoom in on them and form your own impressions. Like, look at that. That is an awesome freaking standee. Sorry for the glare. They are acrylic, so they reflect light. I'm still working out the perfect lighting for down here for my kind of filming area, which I've radically altered in the last 2 weeks. I basically fake finished my basement, or at least part of it. So I bought a bunch of curtains from Home Depot, and I'm talking about like 30 panels of curtains, and hung them in the back corner of my basement with steel cable to hide the insulation, you know, the plain insulated walls, because it's not even framed down here. And bought rugs and new TV and some IKEA furniture, and I basically made myself a little fake finished home theater. And I'm still playing around with the lighting and whatnot. I think that this is not too bad. It seems like the glare is not obscene like I know it has been in the past. I do try with this stuff. I'm not very good at most of it. Most of my value, I feel like, on YouTube is gonna lie in my ridiculously dark sense of humor and my naturally kind of aggressive, grumpy attitude, and my kind of analytical kind of thinking, in the sense that, you know, like with like these, if you've seen my video about people who thought Marvel Zombies was gonna surpass Gloomhaven, Frosthaven in funding, and you can watch that to see my brain pick those ridiculous arguments apart, because they are absurd. It never had a chance in hell of beating Frosthaven, and really didn't even come close, but whatever. And then you get some acrylic heart pieces to track your health, and it looks like they're, I believe that these are like unique for each character. So, you know, you got the red and the blue. These are great. I got to keep these away from my kids. My kids love these. Again, premium, you know, premium tokens, premium standees, the box, the art, the quality of every single component, even the cardboard, I had no trouble punching out. There are those games out there where you go to punch the cardboard and you end up ripping half of the freaking tokens because it's crappily made and crappily kind of packaged, and you know, you got warping tiles and stuff. This is all super high quality, and I have no worry about any of it kind of not meeting up to my expectations, which is just really nice from what is ostensibly the retail release. I mean, it is the retail release of this game. There is no deluxe version of this. This is it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed getting a look at the components and kind of hearing my thoughts about it. I will be trying to get some gameplay of the game up on the channel soon, because I'm super excited about it, and I really want to delve into my first boss battler. So phases is the word that I was looking for when I was saying earlier. It's referenced on the board. I can't remember what they're called. Yeah, like a WoW boss, you know, phase 1, phase 2, you push him into phase 2 and his abilities change. That's part of the mechanics of the game. I told you I would remember it sooner or later. But anyways, that's all I have for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.